Morning, Top Horse players. We're going to do a video today on Titan gear. Had a few people ask, so wanted to put something out there on refining Titan gear and how it works. So basically, you click on the Titan gear menu, go to equip, go pick the hero you want to refine the gear on, pick the gear you want to refine, and you see the second button here on the left is refine. So you click that. Now, before we start refining, there's a few things I want to say here. Number one, as you can see, I've picked a hero who only has one stat in and two empty slots. If the refined trait that I add to this hero goes on the empty slots, I will get the full trait. If it goes on the spot where I have a trait already, if it's the same trait, it will add to it, but not as much as the new trait is. So if the new one's 1%, it won't add 1%. It might add like 0.5%. And if it's a different trait, it'll give you the option to replace this trait with that one or to abandon the process. And if you abandon the process, you lose the Titan gear that you were refining from. So you don't want to push abandon because you're just going to lose the gear for nothing. So when you pick a Titan gear that you're going to refine from, make sure it's got a trait that you're willing to take on any one of your 3 slots, either as an addition or by itself. Secondly, when you refine from Titan gear, you will lose the rest of that Titan gear. So the other stats on that are going to disappear. You're only going to get the one that you refine over to the new thing. Refining helps you because it consolidates your stats onto one piece of gear, but it hurts you sometimes because you do lose other stats and other pieces of gear. So you want to be careful about that. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is, since if the stat lands on the, like I have Def of Air Force here, if I refine with more Def, if it lands on this Def, it's going to take a percentage of whatever the other one was. If it's 1%, it'll take some of that and put it on here. So you always want to make sure the gear that's accepting has the highest of that stat. That way you can assure that your highest stat doesn't get reduced. So now, just to show you how you do it, so I've picked this piece of gear, and it's got Def, so I'm going to add Def of Air Force to it, and I think the gear I want to add from is this one. Yep. Now here, I picked this gear for this video on purpose because it's got 3 different stats, so now I can show you how to use your stabilizer. If you click, I want that 1.17% Def one to come over here. Notice it's less than the 1.26 I have, so even if I lose some of it, I'm not losing my highest stat. And so I click that little checkbox next to it, and I use a stabilizer to make sure that the stat I want to move is the one being moved. Now comes the random part. It could land on any one of these 3 spots down here where my preview is. And so there's a 2/3 chance it fills one of the empty slots, and a 1/3 chance it just improves the other one. So let's push refine, and hopefully we get some good luck here. It's going to go through it, and yes, it landed on one of the empty ones. So now I've got the 2 here. The old random match will be lost and replaced with a new one. This can't be undone. Now if I push replace, it'll accept these changes. If I push abandon, there won't be any changes, but I'll lose that other gear anyway. So pushing abandon is really, really bad. So I'm going to hit replace. And now my Titan gear has 2 Def of Air Force on it. That is the gist of how you refine Titan gear. If you use it smartly, it can really help you amplify certain gear. If you use it silly, you're going to regret it and you're going to lose a lot of good gear. So please pay attention to the tips I've given here and use it properly. As always, click like, click subscribe. It hurts you very little, but it helps me very much. And enjoy your Top War playing days. Cookie out.